Hey, welcome back for another video. I recently came into possession of this thing. This is my dad's old toolbox here. He's downsizing, so gave it to me. Tons of stuff in here, lots of sockets, wrenches. I'm sure I'll get to use eventually. There was this set though that was loose. It's just sitting there. There's actually one mismatched one, but that doesn't matter. I'm not a fan of that, so I figured I'll try to do a little tray, kind of like one of these cheap little plastic trays. Lots of pieces missing. We'll dig through the scrap bin and yeah, we'll see what we come up with. I'm thinking just a block of wood with some holes that'll sit into. All right, so I dug through all my little scraps, little chunks of maple and cherry, some oak in there. And we're gonna see if we can put some of this together. I did find these walnut strips, which I have no idea why I would even keep this, but they are close to the same size as this piece of, I think this is fir. Could be maple. It's not maple. It's fir. I think what we're gonna do is glue that, and I can get another strip out of this piece of junk, and we'll glue it like so, cut it to the right size. I'll come back when that's all done. You don't need to see me cutting and gluing this together. When I got the blank ready, we'll lay out our holes and we'll get to making this thing. Okay, get that all milled up. Doing all right. Now we got to figure out the placement here. Now I'm not going to be too crazy about how I want these placed, but I don't know. Something like that. I'm going to take the time to make sure that these are in line, spaced out. Then we'll figure out how big a hole we need to cut. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm thinking we'll start with a 1/2-inch border all the way around. In the corner. And I think what I'm going to do is mark the approximate center here, draw a straight line, and have those sockets sit in there. We'll do that for the top and the bottom. I don't think the spacing between these is that big of a deal. Yeah, I think just like that. I'm just kind of eyeballing. Doesn't have to be spaced apart at any specific distance. Just keeping them on my center line and then marking the center of the sockets. And then from here, I go 1/2 inch. And there we go. That's going to be how we're going to lay these out here, just like that. Now I'll take some measurements and see how big we got to make these holes. Okay, so I have a list of all the socket sizes, 1 1/4 all the way down to 5/8, mostly going down by 16s. Some oddballs in there, but I don't care. Let's see how big these suckers are. Really. 1 39/64. Definitely don't have a drill bit that size. 31/64. 1 13/32. Give me any regular measurements here? Nope. 1 21/64. There we go. 1 1/4. Hello. 1 3/32. 1 and 1/64, 15/16. Finally, yeah, 55/64. Sheesh. Okay, here's all the sizes of sockets we have, and these are the size of holes that I need to drill. Now, obviously, I don't have all these wonky bits, but I do have a pretty decent set of Forstner bits here. So what I'm gonna do is just see which bit I have. That's the next measurement up, and that's the size that we're gonna pick. So I'm gonna go through. I know I just found out that this one I can use the 1 5/8. So I'll do with all of them. They're gonna be a little sloppy, but I think I've got a way to make them sit a little easier or better, more comfortable. Okay, I worked all that out. Bit size, so 1 1/4 inch socket. That's the outside diameter, and that's the closest diameter I have for a drill bit, so that'll fit inside a hole. 2 of them are gonna give me a bit of a headache. The 1 1/16 doesn't quite fit 1 3/8, and 1 1/2 is way too sloppy. So I think we're gonna do is drill 1 3/8 in a scrap piece of wood and see if I can't sand the inside to make it fit okay. And that's too much of a pain in the keister. Then we'll just go up and deal with the wiggle room. Same thing with this one. 1 inch, it's tight. 15/64 is what I got. But we'll see if I gotta make it 1 1/8. That's fine. No, we'll make do. So next step is drilling a bunch of holes. Okay, I'm gonna center punch these just so the bit doesn't wander on me. 2-second job will make my life a lot easier. All right, just a little test. 1 3/8, it's too tight. I don't feel like sanding all around there. 1 1/2 it is. A little bit of wiggle room, but yeah, that's fine. I can deal with that. Now to keep things simple, I think depth-wise, I'm just gonna stop once the bit is flush with the top of the wood here. Only problem with that is the big 1 5/8 one is a little too tall. It's a little bigger than the 1 inch. So what I did was I measured this distance here, which ended up being 3/8. And I transferred that line onto this one. So when I go to drill, I'm just gonna stop once it reaches that line there. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. No one's gonna sit here and measure each one of these holes. And the guy I'm building it for, I mean, he says it's okay. That's this guy here. Anyway, off to make a mess. Before I get to drilling this thing, quick little tip. The bigger your bit is, the slower you want to go. So I changed the belts here and got it on one of the slower settings. Didn't want to go too slow because I'm going to have to bump it up. So yeah, let's make some sawdust. The last one. All right, we got all our holes drilled. Let's see how this works. Oh yeah, not too shabby. Some of them are a little loose because we had to step up that size. So I think I'm gonna try something here. It might be overkill, might not be necessary. It might screw something up. It might come and bite me in the butt, but we'll find out. I found this dowel. What I'm gonna do is make little pins This happens to sit inside the socket fairly well. So we're gonna drill holes in the middle. They should self-center because those Forstner bits leave little gaps here. So let's see how big our dowel is. This is quality stuff. Huh. 31/64. All right. Let's go see if we have that bit. All right, back already. Got the bit. Now what I'm hoping is that when I go to drill, it's just gonna self-center inside those little divots that those Forstner bits left. And some of these, the fit's really tight. So if I'm off, that might not fit in there again. But you know what? Let's take that risk. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Because I'll have to restart. That'd be the worst thing. I regret all the work I'm gonna do drilling these holes for nothing. Well. Right, I took the time to sand this dowel. A lot easier to do now before you cut them into little pieces. And I threw a mark down there, just under 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna run these through with the sled here. We need 9 of them. They should make pretty quick work of that. Okay, got all of them cut out. We're just gonna give them a quick little lick with the sandpaper and try to taper off that top edge a bit just so the sockets have an easier time sitting down on there if I find some of them are too tight. Okay, sanding's all done, and yeah, they fit in there real nice just like that. Yeah, we'll go glue these in place. I'm gonna add a chamfer along the outside here, sand it up, finish, and yeah, should be all done. Okay, I think for this, instead of putting glue on here, I'm gonna go ahead and put glue on the inside of the hole. I'm worried if there's glue on the dowel and I push it in, it might scrape it up. But if there's glue in the hole, and I push it down, it should push it down. We'll see. Don't need a lot in here. It's a pretty tight fit. Give it a little tap tap. There we go. There it is. Okay, put my chamfering bit in there. I'm just gonna run around all the edges and just knock off the corners here. Now we're just gonna sand the outside. Start reading it. Right, couple coats of spray lacquer and we'll be done. Okay, got my 2 coats on there. Let it dry, and I have to say, it looks pretty good. Oh yeah. Sockets fit in there real nice. Yep, that's gonna do. Little scrap wood socket holder. You know what? The project's so nice. Heck, I made it twice. I used the off cut from the last one, just drilled some more holes, and I found this metric set here. Yeah, they were just floating around, so I figured I'd make another holder for that too. Woo! All right, I just threw them in the toolbox, and did I get lucky? That fits in there real good with that third cheapo plastic tray. You know, for not costing me anything, a couple of days worth of work for holding sockets that I'll use maybe once a year. Hey, whatever, it was fun to build. One little tip, I would not bother with those pins. That's a waste of time. I didn't put any pins here, and that works just as well. So if you're gonna make your own, don't bother with the pins. Just drill your holes and boom, let them sit in there. Well, hope you guys liked that build. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Can you believe it? Sleeping on the job again. Yeah, I caught you.